Tonight's talk with your host Reggie B. Come on, let's all join in.
Hey everybody, I just want to talk about a clip that a YouTuber posted. Her name is Tanya TKO Clips. That's a YouTube handle, and she posted basically a segment of an interview that took place between Nikki Giovanni and James Baldwin. I watched this and I read some of the comments that came down below in regards to what was being said. And it's sort of heartbreaking to see this, because this if you haven't seen the interview with Nikki Giovanni and James Baldwin, please watch it. It is a 2-part video on YouTube. I believe it was filmed in like the late 50s, 60s. The video is just a really good video of two generations, couldn't get that word out, of 2 generations of older black man and a younger black woman talking. And when I was watching her post it, because it just came up on my timeline and it said, "If you love me, you can lie to me," because that was basically a discussion they had. And when I read the comments, as I was saying, I feel like most of the comments in her channel were from women, and I just feel like so much was taken out of context, or so much of the context of that conversation was totally tossed away. To give you a little context, let me play the video and I'll be right back, and then we can talk about it.
If I love you, I can't lie to you.
Of course you can lie to me, and you will. If you love me and you're going off with Maddie someplace, you're lying to me. Because what the hell do I care about the truth? I care if you're there. What Billie Holiday say, hush now, don't explain.
All right, I accept that.
Of course
All right,
you lie to me, because I don't even want to care. What does the truth matter? And why are you going to be truthful with me when you lie to everybody else? You lied when you smiled at that cracker down the job, right? Lie to me, smile. Treat me the same way you would treat him.
I can't treat him the way I treat him.
You must. Because I've caught the frowns and the anger. He's happy with you. Of course he doesn't know you aren't happy. You grin at him all day long. You come home and I catch hell. Because I love you, I get least of you. I get the very minimum. And I'm saying, fake it with me. Is that too much of the black woman to ask of the black man? For 10 years, so that we can get a child on his feet that says, yeah, father smiled at mother. He talked to me about school today. Who cares that you can read or can't read? Most Americans can't read. Most people can't read. They look at the pictures.
Baby, I know what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying, and I don't disagree. But no, I'm going to be honest and think about it really. I'm not so sure that is a human possibility. If I have to smile all day.
You know what I find most stunning about this is I've seen a lot of videos of James Baldwin. I've seen him at Congress. I've seen him speak before white people and shut the room down. To see him speechless, woo!
And the cat on the job, the foreman. You don't understand why I'm smiling.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I want to smile. I'm smiling because that baby needs new shoes. I can't give a performance all day on the job and come home and give a performance all night in the house.
Okay, so one of the performances will stop.
Yes. So you say, and okay, I might be willing to go with it, but who's going to pay the rent?
You're back to that again. The rent will get paid.
Look, baby.
For those of you who don't know, that's Nikki Giovanni on the left. She's an acclaimed author. And she is a poet, an author. She is an amazing orator. And she is given the business to James Baldwin, who I've never seen him speechless before. And so he's talking about why he kowtows at work because baby needs some shoes. He's gay, by the way. So he was not interested in women. He was openly gay. And so in this conversation, I can imagine that he is creating a perspective from a Black heterosexual male's point of view and why he cannot come home and pretend.
I'm willing to play it your way, but you have to see my point of view.
I see your point of view. But the rent will have to get paid.
The price of the rent is my smile.
No. I don't want you prostituting yourself. I demand.
I don't want you prostituting yourself either. One of us has got to work.
You'll work it. You will work it out because you are intelligent enough and you are sensitive enough. You are a man enough to work out a new system. Because we started off with everybody's protest now, and we're back there again. As long as the assumptions are the same, nothing will change.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So we must corner ourselves to make a new assumption.
Okay, how about it?
In case it was sort of like left up in the air, or somebody, like I didn't get it across. I really think that my father, Jones Giovanni, is a groovy cat, and he's lived with my mother now for 35 years under holy wedlock, and I think that that's good for them. I think that sort of thing worked for them. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's the main thing, that they were able to love despite it all.
That's what we were talking about before.
Right, exactly.
And you, by the way, you do not have to tell me that you're your father. I knew that.
Yeah, I think he's a gas.
Yes,
I just don't want to marry him.
So they were talking about some other stuff. Woo, child. That right there was deep and heavy.
We don't have dreams these days. How the hell can you have a dream? For what?
Well, it isn't.
So everybody's jiving, but let's jive on that level.
She's so cute.
If I love you, I can't lie to you.
Of course you can lie to me. And you will. If you love me and you're going...
Wow, this piece right here.
He's oppressing you and come home to your Black family and give us hell. And then underneath that, 100. This needs a pen, hand clap. Thanks for summing it up, because some folks are getting the point. Thank you. Beautiful enactment by them both. I love the rendition. In a nutshell, was in person. Boom. Thank you. She lit a nerve down in his soul. I've seen this before and I've always loved it. And the most part is both of these people came out a homosexual after life, LOL. Leaning to the theory that a lot of Black men desire, I guess supposed to be when they got abbreviations here, and that is why they're compliant. But it's true, you hear men talk about wanting peace when they come home, but do they bring peace home when they come home? Damn, I feel like our entire community can't fake it for each other. We need a script. It gets into some male bashing and Black, let's talk about, first of all, they talked about so much more. And she also made the comment that James Baldwin was gay. James Baldwin, yes, he was gay, but he also was married. So he was into women. He did, and he actually has kids. So, but I don't understand why that had to be an end point of discussion for that topic. But here's the thing. Nikki Giovanni was talking about Black men coming home, and when they come home, faking being happy, conversations, and all these different things with the family. James Baldwin was letting her know that it would be very difficult for a man, a Black man, to go out into the world and fake it all day and then come home and not have to fake it again. So basically, his entire life, he would be faking it 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours a day. And then he would have to come home and fake it for however long he's at home, then get up in the morning, start the faking process all over again at his job, and then come back home, start the faking process all over again for his family. You have to understand how unreasonable and realistic that is. Not just for a man, even for a woman to do that. Let's put into context a little more, because I think some of her followers, and maybe even Tanya herself, was missing, was the fact that this was a time when black men went to work and you were degraded. You were degraded in the streets. You was degraded every day. Even though there are women say that we're oppressed and, we're looked down upon, you are not being degraded to the extent that black men and black women were being degraded in those times. More so black men, because black men were the ones who could pretty much go out. But for them to go out and get jobs, they had to downplay themselves and play stupid. They couldn't be too smart. They couldn't act smart. They were intelligent men, but they couldn't show it. They had to put up with verbal abuse, disrespect. They had to watch other men from other races, white men, go out, do the things that they wanted to do, accomplish the thing that they wanted to accomplish, buy these nice things for their wives, take their wives to these nice restaurants where they cannot even go to the back door of some of these restaurants. All day they was told, you're not a man. That's why you drink from this water fountain. That's why you drive my car. You don't come in my house. You go through the service entrance. So all day they are faking it just so they can bring home money. But the cost of the black man at that time to go out, get a job, and work was his dignity, was his pride, and his manhood. Because he had to come back home to his wife with little or nothing and watch his family starve and go without. I can't. But yet he's watching this other man say, here, you want more. I can get you more. You have to understand how that would break a man. That you got to smile at this person who, first of all, don't even see you as a man. You can't get job opportunities. They're overlooking you. You can only go so far. You're limited to what you can do. And now you have to come home to your wife, to where you know that the kids need stuff for school. You know that the kids have to walk 2 and 3 miles to school. You know your wife wants a nice dress. You know your wife needs shoes. Your kid needs shoes. And it's breaking your damn heart that you can't. Not because you're not skilled, not because you're not educated, but simply for the fact that you are a black man and you're having to smile in these people's face every single day just to bring home what little you bring, to provide what little it can offer. Every day you step out your house, you're going into that world, you're leaving your manhood, your dignity, and your pride, and it's getting stomped and crumbled on. So yes, not only was that man faking his smile, as many of us black men still do today. There was a price that the black man paid for faking that smile. Now, Nikki Giovanni said that she wanted him to fake. She wanted the black man to come home and fake it, so the kids could see that they have a father, so the kids can see that, they would feel loved. She would feel loved. I get what she's saying. I get exactly what she's saying. There was a price for that man to go out, and it wasn't his smile. The smile was not the cause for him going out. It was everything else about him that I just mentioned. His dignity, his pride, his manhood. That was the real cause. The smile is nothing. So when that man came home, he was mentally and emotionally tired. He was coming home to a black woman who had been either taking care of the house, going to work in somebody else's house, who's seeing other women get nice things or have nice things brought home to them, or getting dressed to go out to nice places, taking care of other people's kids, watching their kids get nice things and get dressed and go to school with nice notebooks for that time and nice pen and paper. Do you know that many of the young black female children were actually wearing their black mothers' dresses because that's all they had? Read your history. There's even situations to where they were swapping dresses and going to class. The mother would put on the dress, change, put it on for an older daughter. As they got older, when they can wear those clothes, they were swapping clothes. That's a very deep conversation. Like, I would love to have that conversation the same way they did on that same topic. I would love to have that conversation. It is very difficult to fake it. There's absolutely no way someone can fake it. Maybe 1 or 2 days you can do it, but to do that for years, months, a week? So when do you have time? Where does that frustration go? Let me ask you that. Where does that frustration go? Because clearly, if you're a woman and you're working in someone else's house and you're doing all these things for their kids and you're watching their kids grow and you're dressing their kids and watching the husband come home and take the wife out to dinner and to these nice places, and you're going home to now I gotta cook. Now I gotta clean. I gotta get the kids ready to school. He's going out to work, working long hours, getting paid very little. Can't do anything to resemble being the level of a man because he can't outshine other men of other races. So he has to always stay low, because if he doesn't, his family might be in jeopardy. His livelihood will be in jeopardy. Nikki Giovanni said that. He said, well, how will the rent get paid? James Baldwin asked her, how will the rent get paid? She says, it'll get paid. As a man, we need something a little more substantial. For us, just saying the rent will get paid doesn't satisfy our desire and purpose to make sure the rent is paid. Ladies, we will still have to work. We still will have to do something. It will get paid. It's just not sufficient. And she kept saying it'll get paid. And it was one part of the interview she didn't show it. They talked about actually, if the baby needs a crib, the baby will get a crib. How? To a man is how. How is me getting out here and working? Coming home, get the money, get what we need. So the fact that, she posted that clip and the comments in the video, underneath her video, how the comments were really just bashing men and just sort of going in on men without thinking of the full context of the situation of what men were dealing with when they left that house to go to work, what they were coming home to, and what their women were dealing with when they were at home or going to work in somebody else's house. Both of them end up saying, she says, well, I don't want you to prostitute yourself. And he told her, I don't want you to prostitute yourself. Because basically, as black people, we were selling our humanity and dignity, and to have to try to fake that 24 hours. You faking it during the day at work. You coming home and faking it. There's going to be frustration. The problem is, at that time for black people, there was no way to deal with the emotional stress and mental stress that black men and black women were dealing with in the world and at home. There was nothing. So all the woman had was the husband. All the husband had was the woman. But because of what the other races put on us, all that frustration came out in the home. Now, somebody put in the video, in one of the comments, that, you know, men saying that they want peace. They was basically saying that men wanting peace is a load of crock. Men wanting peace today in 2023 is not the same as men coming home to peace in the 1950s and 60s, 1940s. It wasn't the same. Because when I think about a man born in that era and saying, when I come home, I want to come home to peace, that's more of a man saying, I want to come home and be able to give my wife a new dress, take my wife to any restaurant without having to go to the back door or sit in a certain section. That's me saying I want to be able to take my wife to any store and be charged the same price as everybody else. That's me saying I want to be able to take my wife to any show, any park, any place without having to use separate water fountains, separate bathrooms, separate facilities. I want to be able to pull up in the front with my wife, be able to have her wear nice clothes, give my kids nice clothes. Not worry about my kids. Are they going to get kidnapped, killed, or raped? Is my wife going to get raped or killed? Is my son going to get hung? Will he have an issue with the police? Simply because he's a young black kid walking in a time frame when killing blacks was okay. It really wasn't a crime. If it was, they'll say it was, but they would do nothing about it. The fears that black men and black women had about the family back then was so much more deep than what they are right now. Black men today in 2023, when they say, I want peace, it simply means that it doesn't mean that we hate black women. It doesn't mean that there's no love for black women. It doesn't mean that we would not protect black women. It simply means that there's so much confusion out in the world today in regards to what qualifies to be able to date or be with someone. Is the whole dating thing is just so complicated and convoluted with image over a quality individual, over reality, that some men have elected, I just don't want to deal with the drama. It's two different things when people say peace. So when you watch Nikki Giovanni, when you watch James Baldwin in that discussion, it was really a great discussion. Not one time did Nikki Giovanni insult men to the point of disrespecting them. She questioned some actions and behaviors and asked, but she never insulted or disrespected. Nor did James Baldwin ever insult or disrespect black women. Now, they say that James Baldwin was left speechless. Actually, he wasn't. The fact is, and if you watch James Baldwin's interviews, you will often find that he took time to thought and process a question before he responded, so he can articulate it in a way that made sense. So he wasn't left speechless. That's not the situation. James Baldwin was not speechless in that interview. Watch the whole interview. He was not speechless. He has always been known to articulate himself, but he sort of thinks to process the question, which I think that's something that we all need to start doing more of. Instead of assuming and creating a false interpretation about something, start pausing to think and process something. Try to get as much context as possible before putting out any material or content. I mean, I don't know. That's just... I think I just felt something because that's a really great interview between those two. And I feel like the way she portrayed it really took it out of context from what they were actually talking about. Watch the whole interview. Because it wasn't like she won. It wasn't a debate between the two. It was a discussion. Something that as a people, we don't seem to know how to do now. Like, we can't have discussions. And then she mentioned something about, oh, he had to smoke. He had to grab a cigarette. They were both smoking throughout the whole interview. They were both smoking. So him smoking at that point had nothing to do with her question. They were both smoking cigarettes during the entire interview. Watch the full thing. But yeah, I just wanted to say that. I just want people to think, put a little context to the era in which something was being discussed. I do agree with James Baldwin when he talks about discrimination, when he talks about racism. You know, he said it in one interview that the only thing, he said, nothing has changed except the terminology. The terminology of it has changed. The way it's implemented has changed. So just think about that when you think about that interview, that, you know, I mean, some people say, oh, it's hate. You know, it's not hate. I know some white people that are very cool. I know some Asian people that are very cool. African people. I know people that are very, I hate doing that. It's a shame we have to do that these days, but yeah. I know people from all races who are very cool. They're good people. But anyway, I'm rambling now. But hope you enjoyed this video. Y'all drop your comments down below, man. If y'all seen it, let me know. Watch it and come back and tell me your thoughts, what you think. It was not meant to put black men and black women against each other. It was meant for black men and black women to be able to have a discussion and be able to come to an understanding, or at least be able to have empathy for the black man's perspective of life and the black woman's perspective of life, and try to find mutual ground, not turn into this whole anti-man, anti-woman thing. You know, we got enough of that in our community already. But just want to share some historical information about that video. Nikki Giovanni actually spoke about it in another video. She actually posted a while back, but she actually spoke about that interview. So check that out too. So I hope everybody's having a great day. I hope you guys are enjoying your summer, or whenever you watch this, whatever season it may be. You guys be peace. Y'all show love. Everybody respect each other. And remember, winter is quickly upon us. So please be sure that if you can donate any clothes or jackets to a shelter or people in need, please do so. And like I said, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning into this channel. I really appreciate it. And to all my haters out there who like to, you know, do other stuff. Hey, haters.
Simply stretch on.